Hey everyone, I'm David Burgess.
Hi everyone, I'm Carolyn Burgess.
And isn't it nice to have Carolyn back on video?
It's me.
It's been a while. It's pretty much her annual visit, video for our channel. But anyway, it's great to have her back, and it's been 2 years, it's actually been 3 years since we put this video together that you can see in the thumbnail, which went over everything of our move, what home we chose and why we built here in Lakewood Ranch and everything in between. So we thought we would do an updated video of living here for 2 years, as that home took a year to build, and just to give you our feedback, our just personal experiences of living here in Lakewood Ranch. And yeah, we'll go over the good, bad and the ugly. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Right then, this video is going to be very casual and unscripted, but we wanted to go over what we've loved about living here and just things that have surprised us, things maybe we haven't liked. So, Carolyn, 24 months or maybe just over that here in Lakewood. How's it gone for you so far?
Wonderful. I love it so much. No regrets.
No regrets if you haven't seen. What's that movie called?
We're the Millers.
We're the Millers.
See the Cobra?
Yeah, what is this one?
Oh, this?
Uh-huh.
That's my credo. No regrets.
Mm-hmm. You have no regrets?
Dad?
Nope.
Like not even a single letter?
I'll put
Watch
that in
it
there.
if you haven't.
Yeah, but yeah, house, neighborhood, general location.
Everything. I mean, it just keeps getting better and better. There's so much that's still coming to the area. And I don't know if I should get into it right here, but we will talk about that in this video. The area is just continually growing, and there's so much coming new to Lakewood Ranch nearly every day.
Yeah, it's true. We live in like the northeast kind of corner, or at least it was the northeast corner. It's kind of expanded since we've moved here.
Mm-hmm.
But we've had, since we bought, they're extending Premier Sports Campus. They're adding an ice rink. They've just added our Publix. They've got more stores and restaurants coming. They're widening State Road 64. So even when we moved here, we didn't know of that stuff going on, did we? Not. We didn't know of most of it that was coming.
No.
A lot of that expansion.
Not at all.
So yeah, what about Park East where we built in our neighbourhood? Are you happy with that? Happy with the home we built and just where we are?
I love it. I love it. I love how our neighborhood's small. We do some community events, and by we, I have to give my neighbors credit. There's a couple of neighbors on this events committee, and so every year they do something called a cookie crawl at Christmas time. So usually it's about a week before Christmas, and whoever wants to participate can, but the homes bake cookies or, holiday treats of some sort, and they have a cookie contest, and the kids go, it's almost like trick-or-treating for cookies, but some houses do shots for the adults that are like Christmas themed.
Yeah.
Some have crafts for the kids to do, and it's just a very fun and festive thing to make living in this community that much more enjoyable.
Yeah, and I'm sure wherever you live, that may be going on where you come from. But where we used to live up in Tampa, we didn't have that, did we?
No. I think the most they did really a really nice 4th of July resident-led fireworks display, which they don't do anymore. But the only other thing they ever did was during COVID, they had these neighborhood parades. But nothing like this that's, festive for the holidays. And just even the difference living here versus living in the Tampa suburbs, like David said, trick-or-treating, the kids here are so polite. I just can't get over it. Where we used to live, I'm not saying the kids were rude by any means, but here they smile, they talk to the adults, and they say, trick or treat. Thank you. Have a happy Halloween. And just like
and they don't take the whole bowl, right, of like candy, they'll take one or two, but yeah, we've had that before,
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to agree. Like we've met plenty of neighbours, plenty of friends, and where we live, we don't live in a community that has a ton of amenities. If you don't know the makeup of Lakewood Ranch and what village we're in and what's on offer, we really have a small pool. We have like a dog park, which I've absolutely loved. The one thing I've really loved is having a dog park, and every morning I take Milo to for a walk, and there's like 7 or 8 dads that are there regularly, and we all just talk, and our dogs just hang out for 20-30 minutes, even if it's really hot on a summer's day like in July, or if it's colder in December or January. I've loved getting to know all of those people and our neighbors.
Yeah, he doesn't know our neighbors by their names. We know them by like, oh, that's names. Whiskey's mom.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So yeah, that's been good.
And going back to the area in general, we obviously love living here, and there's still plenty of places we haven't explored yet. There's still so many restaurants here that people recommend and suggest, or new ones that we're still checking off. And we are foodies. We eat out quite a bit, or we like to when we can.
Yeah.
We've got our favourite places, but there are a lot of places here we still haven't even explored, right?
Yeah, we try and incorporate a new restaurant every now and again, but we have our favorites that we love. Like, we love the Granary for breakfast and brunch, and we love 131 Maine for a nice dinner with amazing service.
Bar Italia,
Kitchen Social, The Grove, the list goes on and on and on. But even at Lakewood, Maine, that's changed a bit since we first started selling in Lakewood Ranch in terms of the restaurants and shops that are there. But recently, some of the changes have been excellent, I think, with the Peculiar Pub, which that expanded. So they took over basically a sister restaurant, but they doubled their footprint, I think, if not more. So that was nice because David's been there on First Friday before when it was small, right?
Yeah, when it was smaller. And to be honest, like going back to, just touching on the lifestyle here. One thing a lot of people talk about at Lakewood Ranch is it's a lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle. And to be honest, when I moved here, I thought that was all a bit cheesy and a bit cliche, but it is true because, I'll go to Main Street with some of our neighbours on like a Friday, and we'll do like a pub crawl, or we'll go out on our bikes on a Sunday, and I never did any of that before. It is so nice being able to go. I go for a morning walk every day. I'll go to Azario in Esplanade next door. I'll go to Star Farms. I'll go on my bike, and I'll go and find a new park or new trails. That is something that I always thought, I don't know what they mean by, and even if you don't live in a community that doesn't have all of those amenities, you can live in one like here that doesn't have all the amenities and utilise everything that's on your doorstep in Lakewood Ranch, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what your CDD goes toward, is the
100%.
Lakewood Ranch infrastructure.
100%.
So, when David, he loves to ride his bike, I do too, I haven't been out for a while, but I used to be nervous at our old house because he would be riding his bike on this 2-lane road, and I'm like, you're going to get hit by a car. Here, they have bike lanes everywhere, and a lot of neighborhoods have trails. We have nice sidewalks around the whole neighborhood, but we're only 305 homes. So like David mentioned, we don't have those same amenities that some other communities have, but our fees are also a lot less, which shoots us down to the ground.
Right,
So,
and Manatee, you have to talk about this area and the infrastructure in general, while you're talking about roads and the width of them and stuff. We've always said, if you've watched any of our previous content, Manatee County is so much more forward-thinking compared to Hillsborough. And I don't know if that's a Manatee versus Hillsborough thing or a Lakewood Ranch versus a Riverview thing where we used to live, but it's amazing to see.
No, it's definitely at least a Lakewood Ranch thing or a Manatee County thing. It wasn't a Riverview thing, it was a Hillsborough thing. I think the government here, in terms of infrastructure and everything, is definitely more proactive than reactive. So, where we used to live, one of the big master plan communities that's very popular for good reason, amazing schools and everything, close for people to get to MacDill Air Force Base for military families, is Fishhawk Ranch. I call Lakewood Ranch Fishhawk Ranch on crack cocaine steroids.
Yeah. Because
it's really, I think, what Fishhawk wanted to be, but didn't quite get there. Whereas Lakewood Ranch, before they put these villages in, they put the roads in, and they put the roundabouts in, and they put, the underground cables in and the water pipes in and everything, whereas Hillsborough just didn't plan like that. I feel like it just grew disorganized in a way.
It's a very reactive county.
Yeah, for sure. So that's been a wonderful, we knew that going into the move here, But seeing it and, seeing the roads expanding before our eyes, I mean, Lakewood Ranch is expanding east and then south. So now they're expanding basically into Sarasota County. And they're expanding, Bourneside to Fruitville, isn't it? But they're doing that before these neighborhoods are there because they know they're putting the neighborhoods in.
Yeah.
And in Hillsborough County, they just stick another neighborhood there, stick it there without regard to the roadways and, regards to even getting to shopping and dining and Publix,
Widening
grocery
roads
stores.
and all, yeah.
Yeah, they built a new high school, which at the time was the biggest high school in Hillsborough County, and it's on a 2-lane road. And the road is still a two-lane road, yet they just put a Wawa in that's brand new on one corner. There's a Publix on another corner. There's Starbucks and CVS on one corner. And then they're putting McDonald's, Dutch Brothers, and Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And no plans to widen the road. And it's just so crazy to us, especially after living here and experiencing and not having to experience that stress of driving.
So all the positive vibes, as you can tell. We absolutely love living here, have no regrets whatsoever. But what would you say are the negatives of living here compared to Tampa, or things that may have surprised you, for the negative, really?
I would say the only thing I can really think of is that we're farther from Disney living down here in Manatee County than we were when we lived in Hillsborough County. So the drive time takes about 2 hours to get there, whereas where we used to live, it took about an hour and a half. And that might not sound like much to you, and I guess really it's not that much, but it just makes going there, it requires a little bit more planning of the day to get there and then to get home.
And Disney is Carolyn's happy place. I don't go as often, I'd say. We're both annual pass holders. The drive does put me off a little bit because it's 2 hours to get there, and it can be a really long day at Disney, as I'm sure you know. But you could add Disney to a list of things. Tampa Airport, for one. One pleasant surprise I've had is SRQ Airport. I absolutely love that airport and being closer to it and utilising it. But obviously it doesn't go as many places, right? I cannot go back to the UK from SRQ. I still love Tampa Airport, but that's a good hour to get there. And I'd say sports games like the Lightning or the Bucks and the
Lightning
Bolts.
And we haven't gone to any Bolts games since we've moved here.
Right.
And we used to go about once a year. It's not like it's that much farther, but it was just so convenient. And leaving a Bolts game at the Amalie or Benchmark used to take us at night 30 minutes to get from our car to our driveway, which was fabulous. Now it would probably take about an hour, I would say.
Yeah.
So
being further away from things is definitely probably number one.
Yeah, I would say that. But I mean, first world problems, it's still not that far. That's just the only, I would say, downside for me.
But on the flip side to that, of course, we are closer to downtown Sarasota, which we love, and of course the beaches, and having such a wide variety of awesome beaches to go and enjoy. In Riverview in Hillsborough County, we were quite some distance from the beaches. But yeah, I would say that is the flip side to that. Anything else you can think of that you don't really love about here? Is there anything that you were surprised by, or that you would change?
Honestly, no. No.
One pleasant surprise we had actually is our taxes, right?
That's taxes and car insurance.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Yeah.
Our car insurance when we moved here, just for changing addresses, dropped by something $500 or $600 every 6 months.
That's crazy.
So that just tells you how Tampa area drivers, how bad they are, that moving to Manatee County, that it dropped so much.
Yeah. And our property taxes, we went from a 3,200 square feet, maybe a 3,300 square foot home to a 4,200 square foot home. And our tax bill, and bearing in mind the price is a lot higher for this home than what our previous home was, and our tax bill's gone down from where we were, right?
Yeah. It's I
it's
believe
about the same.
Yeah, I
it's
think
about
we
the same.
pay about the same
Yeah,
here
it's
than
about the
we
same.
did in Hillsborough for a house that was a lot less and smaller.
But we
which
were
is
expecting
crazy.
it to be a lot higher. So touch
Yeah.
wood, it hasn't gone there yet.
Is your head
but
wood?
yeah, it is. That's what we say, touch wood.
Oh,
That's
your
it.
head's made of wood?
Yeah, definitely. Touch
Weird.
wood. Always touch wood with your head. So yeah, we were definitely expecting our taxes to be a lot higher. That being said, our CDD fee is very reasonable where we are, and it's lower here than what it was in our old community.
Yeah.
And yeah, we get so much more for our CDD here. Maybe not so direct here in our own community, but in the general, the general scheme of things with Lakewood Ranch, we get so much more for it.
Right.
So I would say that's a pleasant surprise. Anything else you can think of that's like really stood out?
The only other thing is that would have been nice for us is the new Rangeland High School that's being built, but it's going to be great for the area. And Lake Manatee is the K-8 that our neighborhood and a lot of the northeast corridor of Lakewood Ranch is zoned for. And I've heard nothing but good things about that school. And that takes you from kindergarten all the way through middle school. So
yeah, so we haven't taken advantage of those new schools, but if you're moving to the area and you've got younger kids, you've got some absolutely brilliant options on your doorstep. And when's Rangeland? Is that 2027?
Rangeland High is going to open August of 2027, and our daughter graduates that May. So, so no matter how old your kids are, this area, I mean, obviously the new school's not open yet, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, and just going back to that infrastructure, the location of that school, which is right opposite the library, where the ice rinks go in, where the premier sports campus is, it couldn't be in a better location for kids, could it?
Yeah, it's just a great area.
So yeah, we don't want to make this video too long, guys, and we're trying to be as objective as possible, but we've had such a great experience of moving here. When we moved here, when we pulled the trigger 3 years ago, because it took a year to build our house, we bought at a really bad time. The market was not looking good for us whatsoever. And we do talk about that in the video a little bit. The interest rates looked like they were going to be in the 8% range by the time our home was built. And that, you could say it was at the peak of the market. Everyone says that, but it really was the peak of the market then. At the end of like 2023, that was when things were, with the end of COVID, prices were still up here. But we actually got a good deal, and we knew we got a good deal. And when the home was ready, the interest rates were down in the 6% range. So we always say, move when you're ready. Don't try to time the market. But yes, thankfully for us, it's worked out well.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many people that hesitate to make that move because they're waiting for every single chip to fall in the exact spot that they think it needs to be in. But in the meantime, they're not loving where they live or their living situation. And I'm just like, again, no regrets. Like, life is too short, and tomorrow's not promised. And that doesn't mean we all live way outside of our means or anything like that. But could we have timed it better? No, because we moved in the time that it was meant to be for us. So could we have gotten a lower interest rate? Sure. But that's what it was meant to be. And I have no regrets for the timing. And
yeah. You were weren't you talking about this with another agent the other day?
Yeah. So, well, this is just another testimony to Lakewood Ranch. So I had an agent request a showing on one of our listings, and I'm typically the one that runs our listings. David, as you can tell, is the marketing guru. He's the comps guru, and I'm the listing runner, if you will. I developed the rapport with the agents, and anyhow, I had looked, and the last time I had texted this agent was in 2019. I had shown one of his listings, and this was over in Hillsborough County. So anyway, so we were talking back and forth, and I told him about us moving to Manatee County because, he's a colleague. I don't know him really on a personal level. And he's like, oh, I live in Manatee County now too. I was like, oh, really? Yeah, I live in Lakewood Ranch. And he said, me too. So you know who you are if you're watching this. Hi. But we both talked about, and he had lived, by the way, in the Fishhawk area for, I think he said 19 years.
Yeah.
And we both talked about how much we love it here. And it was so nice to hear another agent that came from the same area as us get it. And he understood, and he just absolutely loves the lifestyle here.
Yeah.
So it's very, very difficult not to.
We have so many friends and was family previously when we first moved here that had never been here, never been to this area really, and we've still got many friends that have never really been to this area, and other agents that have heard of this area but have never been. If you're exploring areas, guys, we are super biased, but we know the Tampa market very, very well. We know Wesley Chapel, we know Land O'Lakes, we even know as far east as like Lakeland and Plant City, and even going towards Orlando. I just feel so blessed, that we moved here when we did, and I don't think we're going anywhere anytime soon. And every now and then, Carolyn and I will have this conversation of where's our next home going to be? Where's our next home going to be? Even if it's in 5 years or 10 years time.
I had somebody tell me recently, you're a realtor, you always get itchy feet. And it's true. We're always kind of looking out and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm in no rush to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And our house isn't perfect by any means. Like there's a few things that we would love to be different about it. But it doesn't matter what your budget is. It's very hard to get everything that you want. Yeah. But I'm just in no rush to go anywhere. I mean, honestly, out here is just paradise. We've got a lovely pool area. We've got great neighbours. We love our location. Even our location is still developing and evolving. Yeah. We love it here. It's so close to 64 and 70 and anywhere we want to be, really.
Yeah. They just put a Pours in our Publix, which is a bar concept. So they serve beer, wine, and cider there.
Yeah.
And
cool.
It's
just wonderful watching Lakewood Ranch get better and better, to be honest. I feel like it improves all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
So listen, if we could be of any help, guys, reach out. I'll put my number and Carolyn's number there too. If you want to speak to Carolyn and completely cut me out, feel free to do so. Typically we work together on listings and we work individually with buyers. Whether that's new construction or the resale market, there's opportunity everywhere. There really is. And yes, we've only got really good things to say about here. But let us know your thoughts in the comments. Maybe you live here and you've done the move, you've done a similar move. Most of the feedback we get is, I wish I'd moved here sooner. That is normally the overriding thing we hear with our own home buyers that move from out of state or out of town. But if you're, contrary to that and you don't like it, let us know why. Put it in the comments. And please like this video, subscribe to the channel to see Carolyn's next video in 2027. But I'll be back. I'll be back very soon as I try to do 3 or 4 videos a month. Even though the World Cup's just been here and I was in World Cup mode for a few weeks, but now that's done, we're back to recording content. That's about it from me.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Take care.